We're live. Yo, hey everybody, it's Chris Brown here.
What's up, everybody? Jay Small here.
And we are Chris and Jay's GPS, and I kind of want to go over what the GPS actually stands for. Some of the questions we've had from last week was, what does the GPS stand for in your name? And GPS actually stands for Guide to Personal Success. So each week, typically on Sundays, 5 p.m. Eastern, today we have a little bit of a schedule change. We're here at 1:30 Eastern time. We will stick to the schedule of Sundays on 5 p.m., but again, due to the schedule change, we're live here at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And today we got a cool topic for you guys, a very important topic, especially for entrepreneurs, especially for salespeople, actually, anybody in general. This is a really, really good topic, and today's topic is personal development. From those of you guys who watched the first episode of Chris and Jay's GPS, I mentioned I've been an entrepreneur. I've taken the entrepreneur journey for the past 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years actually at the end of this year. Jay as well has been an entrepreneur for the past couple of years now. He's excited. We're both excited really to be sharing some knowledge with you guys today on personal development. And it's a funny story actually. When I decided to take on the journey of entrepreneurship, I didn't really know what to do. I had no idea what I was doing. I just knew I wanted to work my own hours. I wanted to create my own income. I wanted to be my own boss. I couldn't see myself with a name tag on my shirt each day. And I wanted to go out there and create my own future and destiny. And that's the ultimate goal. That's why I'm doing what we're doing every single day. So the first thing I decided to do was become a really great follower. So I recommend to all you guys out there to become first a very smart follower. Entrepreneurship doesn't start off as becoming a leader. You don't just, overnight when you decide to take on entrepreneurship and start a business or you join a business or you have an idea in your mind, whatever it may be, your journey of entrepreneurship should never start as a leader. I started as a really, really smart follower. So what I decided to do is find somebody who had what I wanted, who had the success that I've been dreaming of. So I found somebody like that. His name was Anthony Cometa. Some of you guys on this may know him. Anthony Cometa at the time was about 2 years older than I was. He was just a kid like myself. And he had exactly what I wanted. He had the income I wanted. He had the lifestyle I wanted. He was over in San Diego, California, living his dreams. So I reached out to him. I said, Anthony, how do I get what you get? He said, you want to get what I get? Do exactly what I do and say exactly what I say, and you'll get what I have every single time. So I said, okay, what's the first thing I need to do? He said, you know what you need to do, Chris? You need to expand your mind. If you want to expand your business and expand your idea, the very first thing you need to do is expand your mind. So I said, well, how do I expand my mind? What do you mean by that? He says, you need to personally develop. When's the last time you picked up a book? I said, summer reading going into 12th grade, I think. I hated reading books. I never enjoyed reading books. I'm sure some of you listen to this don't enjoy reading as well. And that was when it really struck me, though, how important it was to read. He said, you know what? I'm going to recommend you read Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book right here. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. It's like my Bible now. I read it. I'm on my 5th time reading it. I'm about halfway through my 5th time. It's absolutely changed my life. I'm going to give you a quick history of Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich was thought about, if the first idea of Think and Grow Rich, this book here, was brought to us by Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale was one of the first millionaires in the United States, actually. And Earl actually went to Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill was actually one of Earl Nightingale's followers. And he said, you know what, Napoleon, what I want you to do for the next 25 years, the next quarter century, I want you to go around interviewing all of the richest people in the world, and I also want you to figure out what they're doing or what they have done to achieve this massive amounts of success. And I also want you to go around the world and interview some of the biggest failures. And I want you to figure out where they went wrong so we can learn from them. And what I want you to do after you've done all these interviews and you've interviewed all the most successful people in the world and you've interviewed all the biggest failures in the world is I want you to create a book and share it with everybody you possibly come in front with. I want you to share it with the world. I want this book to get out there, and I want to create millionaires with this. So what he did is he created Think and Grow Rich. So this is based on Napoleon Hill's 25 years of research and education and studying of the richest people in the world, the most successful people in the world, and the biggest failures in the world. And all that information is in this book right here.
It's the first GPS. That's the first guide to personal success right there.
That's correct. That's perfect. This is literally the first GPS, the guide to personal success for anybody. This book right here has created more millionaires than any human being in the world. This has created millions and millions of millionaires all around the world. And this isn't even about just creating financial success, income-wise, but we're talking about just personal success. This book right here is the #1 book I recommend. I live by it every day. Now, who came after Napoleon Hill? He actually passed all this information directly to Bob Proctor. I've seen Bob Proctor live actually 3 times. Incredible human being. Guy's almost worth $1 billion with a B. He's almost worth $1 billion. And Bob Proctor is the leading specialist of the law of attraction. Some of you guys might know what the law of attraction is. If not, look up Bob Proctor. He's an absolute genius. I've seen him live 3 times, changed my life forever. But he actually reads this book every day. He's been reading this book every day for the past 65 years of his life. And this guy's almost a billionaire now. His name is Bob Proctor. B-O-B. His last name is P-R-O-C-T-E-R. Bob Proctor, look him up. Take a look at it. So, anyways, I got to reading this book. I'm on my 5th time now. And it's just an absolutely incredible thing. I've read over 45 books in the past 2.5 years. I hated reading, but after figuring out the importance of personal development and the importance of expanding my mind, which will ultimately expand my business, my income, my relationships, it all starts with personal development. I love it. I can recommend a bunch of books. If any of you guys have questions, personal message me, ask for my cell phone number, whatever it may be, email me, email one of us. We'll give you some recommendations for personal development. Jay, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. So going off that, the average person in this country reads 1 book a year. The average CEO in this country reads 60 books a year. So you want to talk about the difference in income and pay and everything right there. That says it all. That's why the CEO gets paid 300 times more than the average worker, because they're more educated. They're personally developing more. Jim Rohn used to say, don't pursue success. Don't chase success. It's like chasing butterflies. You'll never catch it. What you do is you attract success by the person that you become. And you become that attractive, successful person by personally developing. So I think Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People talked about sharpening the saw as one of the habits. He says the saw is basically your mind, your personality, your staying on top of your industry, so you got to keep that saw sharp in order to perform. Imagine somebody's trying to cut down a tree with a dull blade, and you go up to them and you say, hey, I think that saw needs to be sharpened a little bit. They'll probably tell you, oh, I don't have time to sharpen the saw. Well, that's it right there. That's why people say they don't read. They say they don't have time for that. It's like you don't have time not to read. Yeah. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to, whether it's watching videos, listening to audiobooks, reading. There's so much information out there. On the internet, you can find PDFs and audiobooks and things like that for free. There's no excuses not to be staying on top of your craft and staying on top of your industry, whatever that may be, and just reading these books. Are already written. It's the guidelines right there. That's the guideline to becoming a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire, whatever you want to be. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have said it better, Jay. I certainly agree. And actually, another quote that Jim Rohn says, he always says, "Seldom does one's income ever surpass their level of personal development." So seldom does one's income ever surpass their level of personal development. So go out there and personal develop, and then the income will follow. So actually, I was reading a book the other day called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, H-A-L-E-L-R-O-D, Hal Elrod. I recommend it to anybody. The most important thing, we'll save this for another Periscope live event, but we'll talk about a morning routine. So The Morning Miracle by Hal Elrod, he actually mentions that if you were to read 10 pages every day for a full year, you would have read 3,650 pages, because there's 365 days in a year, times 10, 3,650 pages in 1 year. He also mentioned that the average book length in the United States is 200 pages. So if you take 3,650, which is 10 pages a day, just 10 pages a day, that's all you have to read to accumulate 3,650 pages in a year, and you divide that by the average book length, which is 200 pages, you have read 18 books in 1 full year. And he just mentioned that the average human being reads 1 book a year, compared to the average CEO, which reads 60. So just by reading 10 pages a day,
you're setting yourself up 18 times better, 18 times more success than the average person.
Think about that. A lot of people say to me, I don't have time to read. I don't like reading. I don't enjoy reading. I just don't have time. Think about this. This is kind of funny. The average human being spends between 3 to 5 minutes a day sitting on the toilet, going to the bathroom. I'm sure anybody is capable, sometimes twice a day they're going, 3 times, 4 times, I don't know. That's your personal business.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that number's probably even higher for most people.
Right. It's higher.
Some people go to the bathroom just to waste time during work and get
Exactly.
out of it, so.
Think about this. If you pick up a book every time you sit in the toilet, you will accumulate 10 pages a day. I almost guarantee it. So think about that. That's 18 books a year. 18 books a year of personal development. It's very, very important to personal development. Expand your mind, expand your business, expand your relationships, expand your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Last week we talked about the little things. This is one of those little things. 10 pages a day. I challenge everybody out there to, this next week, 10 pages a day.
Yes. So if you guys have any questions, concerns, if you guys want some recommendations for personal development books, feel free to ask us questions, email us, comment on a YouTube video, get us on Twitter. My personal Twitter is Chris Brown I3 at Chris Brown I3. Jay's?
J_small90, J_small90.
J_small90 is Jay's, or hit us up on our Chris and Jay's GPS. On Twitter, actually, it's Chris and Jay, without the S on Jay's. Chris and Jay GPS. So get us, contact us, guys. Thanks for watching this afternoon.
Let us know what you're reading.
Yeah, let us know what you're reading. I'm always open for recommendations as well. I'm always looking for new books to read. And hey, see you next Sunday, 5 p.m. We'll be on here again. Sorry for the time difference this Sunday. We had a slight schedule change later this afternoon. But thanks again, guys. Go out there, start reading.
Be great.
Be great.